Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? I wanted to give you guys an update. So number one, still doing some standard here and had a lot of fun kind of reverting to the sort of the most updated list of my mono red aggro deck. And I'll get into it in a minute here, but I also wanted to give you guys an announcement. So I was invited to take part in Ace MTG's 8-man Kumite tournament, which he is going to be casting today all the way through like the next 7 days right up before the new set comes out. And so it's really great because there's a lot of different content creators that I got to meet that I hadn't met before, who are all just really cool people. And he's going to be linking everybody's info in his videos on his channel, so you should definitely check out his channel. I'm also going to be hosting it, so kind of his hope was that each of us different content creators could be hosting the tournament on our own channels, so we can kind of get cross traffic, hopefully help you guys discover some other great content creators. So I really hope you do check out their channels. So I'm going to be linking it here also and putting up a video starting today and then for the next 7 days for the whole tournament, which is a 7-round tournament with a best-of-5 finals. Really, really fun. Super excited about it. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up. With that said, let's get into this deck here. So I kind of took my most recent copy of Mono Red Aggro and then just made a couple slight changes to it. Really, really liked it, and this has actually helped me kind of rank up a bit here on the ladder. I currently rank 361 Mythic, so really pushing for top 250. And yeah, just been a great time. I've played a lot of games here on my tablet today, so unfortunately I don't have data on all those games and how they went, but it has a pretty good win rate so far. It's just been doing great, helping me rank up on ladder. So to get into it here, you have basically the flavor of the deck here. I kind of refer to it as 2.5 dragons. You have the Shivan Devastator, Godric Cloaked Reveler, which becomes a dragon if you can activate Celebration and have 2 non-land permanents enter the battlefield under your control in 1 turn. And then we also have 4 copies of Invasion of Tarkir, which I found to be one of the best answers to not only the mirror match, but it's really great against like mono white aggro, any kind of creature strategy deck. This is like the premier answer I have found that mono red has. And from the other side of the table, this is a terrifying, terrifying card to be staring down against mono red opponents. So yeah, 4 copies of that. And then when you're up against control, typically you just use this to just go face and then not bother flipping it, because they have things like temporary lockdown, which like invalidates all of that work that you took to flip it. So the other parts of the deck, we've got 4 copies of Kumano Faces Kakazan, 4 copies of Swift Spear, 4 copies of Monstrous Rage, which are all just staples of the archetype. Running 3 copies of Phoenix Chick. Part of the reason here is that it's great to have flying evasion. I do want to see about 1 a game. And we do also have some Shivan Devastators here to kind of pick up the slack for the other evasion creatures, which also can trigger Invasion of Tarkir, so you get extra points of damage when you play it. So Shivan Devastator is a really great card here in this type of deck, I think. And then I've got 2 copies of Eldarin Epicure. Part of the reason here is I want to see about 1 a game, help kind of ideally filter out extra lands to kind of keep gas in the tank for this deck. And then it also just does 1 damage to the opponent, so another way to kind of ping them, hopefully get the last couple points in. 2 copies of Play With Fire. So this is a little bit controversial, but part of the reason that I'm running only 2 copies is because we are shoring up a lot of this direct damage with 4 copies of Invasion of Tarkir, which typically does 2 damage to something. Can target anything. It's sorcery speed, obviously, so it's not going to be quite as good as Play With Fire, but I think it's enough kind of bolstering to, I had to find room basically somewhere. For the 2 drops, we've got 2 copies of Charming Scoundrel, and I actually was looking at some other red lists, and I saw there was a deck that had only 2 copies, and it has, you know, sort of an entirely different deck, but it had 4 copies of Monstrous Rage and only 2 copies of Charming Scoundrel. And this actually makes a lot of sense, because when I was running 4 copies of each, it was way too much. I, you know, basically ran out of targets for the either Wicked roll or the Monster roll. And so I think having like a total of 6 in the deck really feels pretty good. So yeah, happy with 2 copies of Scoundrel. Now for this slot here, I like Feldon because, you know, you're just trying to win the race. If they bother to block, you hopefully get some extra cards out of the deal. So there's kind of a nice benefit there. It is a legend, so I could understand if you wanted to do some sort of split with the Bloodthirsty Adversary. But because this deck is so low to the ground, you only have 21 lands, and you're going to be filtering extra lands with Voldaring Epicure from the blood tokens. I think that Feldon is going to be better than the Adversary in this specific deck. So 3 copies here of Feldon. Hopefully that's not too many. Again, if you want to do like 2 and 1 or, you know, some other split, you could do that. 4 copies of Invasion of Tarkir, again, helping us with spot removal. And then 4 copies of Lightning Strike, another staple. For the 3-drop slot, 3 copies of Godric to help, you know, kind of get that dragon going. And then I did cut Squee. I just wanted to kind of make extra room for the invasions. And Squee, you know, while certainly a great card, I just didn't feel like it quite made the grade here for what I'm trying to do. And then the last card here is going to be 1 copy of Nahiri's Warcrafting, which can deal with a big threat, and it can also single-handedly flip Invasion of Tarkir. So that's a really nice interaction there. For the land, you've got 2 copies of Sokenzin, just because, you know, again, if you run into a situation where you need 3 mana, you can have 1 Sokenzin in play, another land, and then tap a mana from the first Sokenzin, play the second Sokenzin, float the mana, use the second Sokenzin to get to 3 mana. So I think running 2 is perfectly fine. And then 2 copies of Mistress Foundry. I think you don't want to run more than 2, just because you've got so many sort of early needs for red. But I think there is enough room to get away with 2 Foundries. I could see running 1 or 2. We're trying 2. With all that said, let's hop into a couple games. If you are new to my channel, again, thank you guys so much for being here. Do look out. I'm going to be posting the first round of the Kumite tournament on my channel. It'll also be on Ace MTG's channel today, so you should see that. Or actually, I think, yeah, at any rate, it's going to be on the same schedule, however it turns out for Ace MTG. So you'll be seeing it on my channel here as well. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, thanks for being here. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, maybe dropping a comment or a like, and if you want to, certainly share it with a friend. And for my returning viewers, thanks again, guys, for being here, all your support. It really does mean the world to me, so thank you so much. I feel like it's been a minute since I've played Mono Red, but definitely my style. I do love, you know, Mono White, Boros, you know, all kinds of other decks too. I'm definitely an aggro player at heart, but yeah, there's something just very, very, it's so clean. The Mono Red deck just kind of just straight to the face. What I really like about it is the fact that it's so hard to contain because you can do direct damage, which is something that Mono White just can't do. Okay, we're going to lead out here with Kumano faces Kakazan. Looks like we could be up against like Mono White humans or something like that. Yeah. Okay, this is a little unfortunate. We don't have a way to deal with that adversary this turn, so that's kind of rough. But yeah, I think we just... And since they can send it through with Skrelv, I think we have to race it here, unfortunately. So... If they want to trade, more than happy to trade. Okay, so here we're just going to try to go over the top with damage. And then we'll leave... Oh man, I guess because they can send it through a Skrelv. Again, that's just... We're not able to profitably block, so I think we just got to race here. Let's see, we're pushing 9. They can basically gain another 6. We go to 16, and then on our next turn we can push, let's see, Scoundrel will give us 2, 6, 11, 12, 15. We'll be 1 short of lethal. Wow. So yeah, I think maybe we try to tie up their mana a little bit here, hold back the Kumano. If they want to use Skrelv, they can, but they have to use, they got to pay mana for it. Okay, I guess they had Lauren the third path. Yep, can't do much about that. So I guess where do we want the Wicked token to go? I think we probably want it on Godric, because that's more likely to eventually get blocked at some point. Could also put it on Scoundrel here. I kind of like that, actually. So let's go Scoundrel here. Or I'm sorry, the Monstrous token. Then we can hang on to Phoenix Chick since pumping Godric is functionally the same in case we draw into something. And we can hold back Charming Scoundrel to tie up a mana for Skrelv. Right now, let's see, we're going to be pushing 9, 12, 13, I guess. Could just double pump here. And I think maybe let's do that since they aren't giving us a blocker that we have to, push this through. So that feels pretty good. Okay, 14. So we can activate Godric. Is this enough? Let's see. So we go Phoenix Chick plus Monstrous Rage. We'll put the Monstrous Rage on Scoundrel, so they take 1. If they block with both... let's see, then it's going to be a 5-3. So we're pushing 2 points, 2 and 3, and then 4, 9, 10, 11. Not quite enough. All right, so I think we hold back the Foundry so we can block one of the adversaries and not just die. Okay, now we got a Monstrous Rage pre-combat to get this thing into the air. Alright, so they're taking 2, 7, 8 down to 5. We'll use Mishras to block one of these to not die. And I think that's the play. I guess it's possible. So if we Nahiri Warcrafting on Skrelv, can hopefully hit another removal. Gotta go for it. There's the Lightning Strike, which is what we needed. See, they're at 8. Okay, so we get the Lightning Strike. Play the Lightning Strike. Take out Adversary. Down to 1. Still hanging on here. Not quite enough. Oof, close one. Well, that was a good game. That was fun. All right. Even though we didn't win, it was good. It's definitely a heads-up play on the opponent's end to protect the Brutal Cathar with their Skrelv before their Skrelv died. Alright, this hand is not going to work. Much better. So how do we play this one out? We go Swift Spear into Invasion. Man, I want it all. I think we want to have access to Godric here. Man, I don't know. I guess like turn 3 we could go like Swift Spear plus Monstrous Rage, which is pretty good. It's like no guarantees on getting the 3rd land, but we also only have 1 red source. So I think I'm going to throw back one of the Swift Spears. So we might need this Monstrous Rage to crack the invasion. Okay, so much for invasion. I think we just go for Epicure this turn. I suppose we could do Monstrous Rage, but like if they have Brutal Cathar, it's so bad. Although Epicure is pretty good at flipping Godric. Yeah, maybe I go for Rage this turn. It's also more like mana efficient. Now we've got a nice invasion on Thalia into Swing with Swift Spears. That feels pretty good. Helen is a great card, though. Definitely rough to go against it. So if we go like Swift Spear plus Chick, that's still not very good. I guess we just go Godric and set up, because then we can just fly and get it next turn, provided they don't have Brutal Cathar. Yeah, I think that's the play, to set up with Godric. And then hopefully no Iganjo here. Alright, so Epicure gets it in the air. How do we want to set this turn up? We're definitely going to need to block something. So next turn, I mean, we'll have our 4/4 flyer. They could play Adeline, presumably plus another creature. So we need the Epicure to block the 6/6. And then they still are pushing, we could block like the 2/3. We still take 4, 6, 8, 10, which is lethal. I guess we hold back with Swift Spear. We could do that. Okay, so I think it's Epicure. And then we get the invasion going, and then I think we might want to do maybe like Chick? No. I think we do maybe Kumano faces Kakazan. Let's just make sure we can survive through this turn. Alright, so we can block, we have 3 blockers. I think we block here, like here, and maybe there. Take 9, go to 1. It's a little iffy. I feel like Swift Spear is maybe good insurance, just in case they have like Coppercoat Vanguard or something crazy like that. Yeah, that veteran's pretty nasty because it's putting them more and more out of reach. Okay, so we throw the 1/1 in front of the 9/9. Thundermaw eats the Traveler. 2/3 blocks their 1/1. I think we want to keep our life total high here. Let's see, I guess we'll have 3 attackers on the ground. They have at least three blockers. Swift Spear could block the 4/4. We drop to 6. I think we might want to do that. Okay, so now we can go Phoenix Chick plus Kumano faces Kakazan to get Godric into the air. Do we want to save Mountain for cycling? I think we just want Mountain for pumping. Okay, so now, what do we get rid of? Pushing 8, pushing 12, 13. We're 1 off lethal. How do we survive through next turn? So if we kill Adeline, and then use this to block Knight Errant, we take... No, it doesn't work. We have to block Bunicorn. Yuck. Wait, no, we've got lethal because we can pump. That's right. 4, 8, 12, 14, 15. Whew, almost forgot. Oh man, that was a close one. Whew. Yeah, it was a great game. Yeah, that game I feel like would just be unwinnable without the Invasion of Tarkir. That does so much work in that mono white matchup. Alright, hand looks great. Got turn 1 Swift Spear into turn 2 Invasion. Start working on it. And actually this is a perfect, yeah, this is perfect for the mirror match. We can go Invasion, take out their Swift Spear. It's all coming together. And yeah, no reason to reveal it even though we've got it because it still takes out the Swift Spear. We'll leave that as a surprise for later. So we could just Devastator here. I mean, they're representing Lightning Strike, so I guess let's just Phoenix Chick. Yuck. I guess we could Phoenix Chick and Devastator, but then we still don't quite get there. Like, we have to have Monstrous Rage actually land. Kind of want a Devastator for 3 next turn. I think let's just go Phoenix Chick and just kind of play it close to the chest here. Pretty sure they've got removal, so we'll just wait and see if they use it. Yeah, Lightning Strike there. So we can guarantee to flip it with our Phoenix Chick. Whoops. Actually, never mind, that was a mistake. We could have put it on the Swift Spear and had it live through. Might not matter, but yeah, that was a mistake. It would have been big enough to survive. Never blocking that. Not ever. Pretty sure we win this race. I love that little combo. Yeah, the combo with Invasion where they get the extra card off of Feldon. It's a sweet combo. Okay, yeah, little mistake. Luckily didn't cost us the game, but yeah, still kind of getting back in the hang of mono red. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let's take a quick look at the stats. I think it's going to be just a couple games here since most of my games have been on my tablet. Okay, so it looks like I had a couple games here earlier in the month. Oof, 53% win rate. 8 wins and 7 losses. So I think a lot of these games were quite a while ago and maybe with a different build. The most recent build, though, here is, yeah, 67% win rate, 2 wins, 1 loss. Anyways, you know, it's a great deck. I did like a solid month of mono red. This is a little bit of a variance of kind of what I was running then. I think that deck was a little bit more geared for control. It had like Urabrask's Forge, but I think that the dragon build is pretty sweet. So feel free to check it out, and we'll see you here in the next video.